So thank you very, very much for turning up at 4:15 on the first day of a conference to talk about a data action plan that has yet to be published. I am really, really grateful. Thanks, Ian. Appropriate response. Brilliant. So we are going to start with Mentimeter, if that's okay. So just to put you at ease, this is just to help us contextualize some of the responses that we're going to have in this workshop. There's going to be absolutely no link between this and the feedback that we're going to get from you during this workshop. So thank you very, very much. So we're going to ask you to just fill in, firstly, free text field, what is your role? I'm going to ask you to not put your name. We don't want any personal data. Thank you very much. But just if you let us know what your role is, that's really, really helpful. Right. I'm hoping everyone is going to wrap that up. As a feminist, I'm hoping we also have a data dudette in the audience as well as a data dude. Brilliant. So I'm going to suggest we move on to the next question. So we are going to be asking you what kind of organization you work in. Again, this is just so we have a bit of an understanding of the breadth that we have in the audience. So you've come in, you've sat at the back. We're going to ask you to come and sit on one of the tables. Sorry. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Going to move on to the next one. Don't worry, there's only two more. So, how do you interact with data in your role? I believe I've also made this multiple choice, so you can select more than one if more than one is applicable. I feel like people are a little less certain on this one. Brilliant, thank you very much. And our final question for Mentimeter: how confident are you about data? Self-reported? Okay, absolutely brilliant. I really am grateful that no one kind of decided well, I say no one decided to put, I don't think data is important. Someone has, that's fine. If you would like to come and talk to us and let me try to convince you how you're wrong, please do feel free to come afterwards. Okay, thank you. We're going to go back to our slides. Brilliant. Hello. This is a workshop on the Transport Data Action Plan. I'm afraid we've got someone else who's come in a little bit late. Please do come and join one of the tables. If you would like to join one completely on your own, that's fine. It's going to be a very lonesome discussion. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Oh, this is thrilling. So, Data Action Plan. What on earth is a Data Action Plan? So the Data Action Plan is the Department for Transport's update to our transport data strategy that was published in 2023. It is being produced by the data transformation team, so that's myself, Robin, that is my colleague Alia, and that is also my colleague Ben, who is very kindly handing things out to you to complete in the workshop. So it responds to not only the transport data strategy, but also all of the many, many, many other strategies that I'm sure all of you have read and absolutely loved that really highlight the importance of data and how that is going to help the country in so many different ways. We have had huge engagement on the data action plan. So if anyone in this room was involved in that, thank you very, very much. It's been incredibly helpful. We intend to publish soon. We cannot be more specific than that, but we intend to publish soon. It would have been lovely to come here and to have copies of the Transport Data Action Plan and to ask you to comment on it. We're unable to do that, but what we are able to do is to try to really get some feedback, raise awareness, understand some opinions, so that while we are waiting for that beautiful, magical date where I will eat 1,000 Freddos in celebration, we can actually start some of that work and set off on the right foot. So that's why we're here. We want to get your opinions, your understanding of some of the key themes that we know are really important, so that when we start that work, we don't have to wait. We can keep going and be confident that we're starting off with what would be most helpful. So we'll be focusing on some of the areas that we know are really, really important. We want to hear your thoughts. But before we do that, I'm going to ask Alia to just give you a little bit of a flavour of what it is that we're saying in the Data Action Plan and why we think the data is important. So, Alia.
Thank you, Robin. So why is data important? So hopefully everybody here has an idea of why data is important. Maybe that one person doesn't, so this is for them. So we also heard the opening speaker of this conference celebrate data as well, but we believe data underpins the transport sector, so we can say customer experience. With better data, we can make journey planning easier for our customers. We can make their journeys cost effective and make their transport accessible. For the sector, with better data, we can modernise, we can roll out innovative technology and make the sector more sustainable. And then, of course, better data underpins better decision-making, evidence-based decision-making, which leads to a more resilient system that can respond, and then better insight into what's working, what's not working, and value for money as well. So within the DAP, we set out DFT's commitments and actions for how we're going to achieve these goals for data. And we've separated it out into 5 different themes. So the themes we've got are sharing, discoverability, and access. So this is about making data accessible and shared across the sector. We've got data standards and quality. So we really want to make sure that the data is interoperable and we're using consistent standards and consistent quality across the sector. Skills, culture, and leadership. So we want to champion data, make sure the whole sector understands how important data is and embedding it in their work. User needs and communication. So this is about putting users at the heart and people at the heart of our decision making. And then finally, governance, protection, and ethics, where we're making sure that we're following best practices, legal, ethical responsibilities. So we believe that these actions will lead to a better transport system, make transport better for people, lead to efficiencies. We want to equip people and organisations with the data they need to make those better decisions.
So what we're going to ask you to do, again, just like some real collaboration and discussion so late on a Tuesday. It's going to be great. What we are going to ask you to do is each table should have a topic in front of them and some sheets in order for people to record their thoughts. So the topics that we've got on each table, one on each table, is benefits of data, sharing data, understanding user needs, and skills and capability. If you are hoping for an in-depth discussion on ontologies or APIs or data standards, I am really, really sorry. There will be opportunities. That's another point. But these are the ones that we've picked out as really important and what we would like your views on. So there are sheets in front of you, one for each person. If you do not have one, please wave at us and we will get one to you. But there are sheets in front of you. We've explained why we think it's important. We're going to ask you to vote on how well you think your organisation meets a certain statement that's on there. We want you to have a discussion on your table. And this is really, really important because we think that there are going to be an awful lot of interesting different views and people are going to be able to understand and learn from other people and get insights. Once you have had that discussion, I'll give you a quick warning that we're drawing to a close, and then please write down your most important thing. Now, the thing that you write down does not have to be agreed upon by everyone on the table. You do not have to come to a consensus, but that discussion may well change your opinion about what the most important thing we can do to help in that space is. There's also space for other notes to be made. I am going to be the one who types all of this up, so if you can make everything legible, that would be really, really great for me, if that's okay. So, that's what we're going to do. That's what the workshop is about. We're going to be walking around, so if you have any questions, please do flag to us. But I hope you have an interesting conversation with your colleagues on your different tables. Thank you very much.